Hey guys, welcome back. This is Miss M here today, and now I want to talk about what we did in class on Friday, which was August 23rd. It is now the 26th, the morning of the 26th, and I did not get to make this video Friday afternoon, but don't worry, you can get caught up. So the first thing was that I did break the class up into collaborative pairs, and we are trying to get ready for tomorrow's very first written quiz, tomorrow being the 27th of August. And I had everybody tear out not tear out because you already tore them out, but to go ahead and pull out some pages from the workbook that you have in your folder. The first thing we pulled out here was the core practice P1, and in class step 1 here was to do the core practice sheet. On the first side here on page 1, it's basically just multiple choice, and it just needs to make sense. It needs to be coherent. So right here, the first one is they're all little mini conversations. And number 1, it says, hola, and then you have 2 choices, hasta luego, or como te llamas. And so which one makes more sense? So of course it wouldn't make any sense to say, hi, see you later. But hi, what's your name? Makes sense. So you circle the one that makes sense. So that page is actually quite easy. On the back side, the first thing you have here on part A is like a phrase bank, like a word bank, but they're mostly phrases. And you're supposed to go through first, out of all 12 of them, underline the ones that can be used to talk to other students, so people that you would call by their first name. Like the first one there, hola, you could use that on another student, so you underline that. And after you've gone through all 12, then you go back and you circle the ones that could be used to talk to an adult. For example, with the señor, señorita, Mr., Miss, and all that. Some of them will be both underlined and circled. And the word here that y'all don't know that they threw in is estoy, which is just I am. So estoy bien, I am fine. Obviously that would be both. You could use that on another teenager, another child, and you could use that with an adult. In part B, they have 5 greetings and addresses, and which one is addressing a person that you're formal with, a Mr. or somebody with their last name with a title. And which ones are for people that you call by their first name, like teenagers or little children, etc. So the first one there says, hola, señor Gomez. Obviously, because it says Mr. Gomez, that's formal, so that would be usted. And then on part C, you put these in chronological order to make a coherent conversation, a logical conversation. Which one would go first, second, third, fourth, and fifth? And that is essentially all you need to do on the first sheet. And on the second sheet, starting on page 7 here, which is going to be part 2, is that you go through, try to do this without your notes since the test is tomorrow. You go through and put the English translation in all of the blanks for the ones that are there, and then you immediately after you do all of them, you fold this over and you can see if you got them right because they are on the opposite side, like that. And after you've done that side, you flip it over to this side and you do the same thing, which should be a little bit more challenging, where you put the Spanish translation. Try not to use your notes at this point. Put the Spanish translation and then you fold that over and see if you got them correct. So that is step 2. Step 3 is where you take your actual Cornell notes, and you'll notice that there are more, and I went through and took the liberty of highlighting the ones that are not on the page that you are also responsible for. And your job here is to go back to page 7 and to handwrite in Spanish only, not the English, on page 7, the added things. So I counted 15 actually, 13 plus. If you count, here you have the one, mi nombre es, which is an additional way to say my name is. My name is on here in the form of me llamo, but I'm also teaching you the other one, which is extremely common expression. And then I put 13 plus because no muy bien might be counted as 1 or it might be counted as 3. And when it comes to señor, señorita, and señora, you have to know all 6, the written out and the abbreviation. But when it comes to usted, I'm only requiring you to know one of the 3. One of the 2 abbreviations or the written out form. I'm not making you learn all 3 of those. So on this side, you put just the Spanish versions of the extra 13, 15, expressions, just write them over here. You got plenty of room over there. Just put the Spanish only. And then do the exact same thing on the back, but with the English. So you'll have the same group though, but just the English. Just write them over here. You don't have to put the Spanish because you essentially already did it on that side. So write the English only. So that gets you through step 4, steps 3 and 4. And here on steps 5 and 6, what everybody did was they were with a collaborative partner and they took this list, the Spanish side, page 7, and you quizzed each other using your copy. You quizzed each other, so that was your opportunity to practice your pronunciation. And you held your sheet, you held your pen, and you would go, okay, first go out of order, and you're like, okay, so the first one is hasta luego. And then your partner go, okay, hasta luego, okay, see you later. So all your partner is doing at that point is practicing their listening comprehension, and you are practicing pronunciation. And after you do that back and forth, then we flipped it over on the other side and it got a little harder. Don't forget, the partner being quizzed should not have their notes visible to them during this practice quiz. On side 8, it gets a bit tougher for the partner because you are calling them out only in English, and their job is to A, recall, and B, pronounce the words in Spanish. Now, your quiz tomorrow is writing them, but right now we were practicing with a partner, so we were practicing our pronunciation. So you would go, all right, your first one is likewise, and your partner says, okay, igualmente, and so they had to recall the word and then pronounce the word. So you did back and forth on that. The majority of the pairs, that's all they got done in class. Took a while to do those steps through step 6. So step 7 did not really occur for a lot of pairs on Friday, which was to grab the textbook and to act out all of the little miniature conversations on pages 2 and 4 out of the book. We did not really get that far. We will probably be doing that Monday today, which is today, in class. We'll be practicing that. So I need y'all, if you are not here Friday, to complete these pages, and then when you turn them in, I don't care which one you put on the top. Whether you put 7 on the top or 1 on the top, I don't care. But you do need to put whichever one's on the top here, stapled, your name and the period that you're in need to go up at the top. Okay, so right there, hora is, really it means hour, but a lot of Spanish-speaking countries use that as their double as the word for period, and others actually say periodo, but okay. So that is Monday's, that was Friday's lesson and the assignment that you need to complete and get turned into me as ASAP. And tomorrow, the 27th, is your first written quiz. 5 questions, all pulled directly from this first side. The back side is not on the quiz. The basic vowels and the diphthongs are not on Tuesday's quiz. You have to write them in Spanish, and you have to get the accent marks. And the tilde over the end of mañana has to be on there. I'm not counting off on the upside down question mark at the beginning or the exclamation mark, although you should be getting that, but I'm not going to count off for that. If you have any questions, let me know, and hopefully this was helpful. Everybody have an awesome day, and hasta luego.